So here's what I'm going to share with you in this video on how to give genuine compliments. I'm going to share the difference between emotional and opinion-based compliments and why that's important. I'll show you the difference between generic and genuine compliments. I'll teach you how to elaborate on compliments to make them feel even more powerful without turning it into a gush fest. I'm also going to share with you a technique that will let you compliment basically anyone without it ever seeming like you're fishing for their approval or a compliment back. I'm going to talk about how we can use automatic compliments to create both a persona and a social circle that encourages people to lift each other up. And I'll cover a couple of basic rules that everyone should follow on all of these. That's a lot of content in one video, so stay sharp, pay attention, and feel free to save this video so you can come back to it later. And of course, go ahead and subscribe to my channel so you can find this and other videos easily in the future. All right, let's get started. Opinion-based compliments are exactly what they sound like. They're compliments based on your opinions of the other person. This is, of course, the most normal way for people to compliment each other. Hey, I like your jacket. Well done on that project. You're really good at that. Here's the important thing about giving opinion-based compliments. They should be about something that's the other person's fault. Something that's a result of their choices, their personality, their character. Not something that they were born with or that's outside of their control. Don't get me wrong, it's fine to tell your partner that they have beautiful eyes, but generally speaking, and especially with people that you don't already have a close relationship with, complimenting someone on something that they've created, worked for, chosen, will be experienced as more genuine, accepted more easily, and usually make them feel a lot better than a superficial, generic compliment ever would. An emotional compliment is about how you feel around someone or which feelings you have for them. That's right, telling someone I love you is a compliment. So are things like, I always have fun with you, or I feel safe with you, or I trust you, and so on. Not only are these incredibly nice compliments to get, but they tend to be experienced as genuine, open, and vulnerable too, which only serves to make them even more impactful. Generally speaking, women tend to be much better than men at giving these kinds of compliments, so guys, if you want to stand out and be able to give compliments that neither come across as try-hard, fake, or distanced, practice this. Now, no matter which type of compliment you're giving, specificity will take it to the next level. Non-specific compliments feel generic. Specific ones, however, feel more genuine. So instead of saying, I like your style, tell them what it is about their style that you like. Instead of telling someone, I feel safe with you, tell them why or how they make you feel safe. This will make a compliment feel even more real, and as a bonus, it will encourage the other person to do more of those things that you like. Which means, of course, that you'll get to experience more of the thing you want to experience when you're around them, and they get to feel more confident when they're around you. And if you want to take it even one step further than that, you can elaborate on the compliment. So if you tell someone that you love their hair color, you might go on to say, it really makes you stand out from the crowd and it brings out your smile too. Elaborating includes both specificity and paints a picture for the other person that lets them know how the world, or at least you, see and experience them. But in most cases, you want to keep this short. Don't go off on a long rant about it where you're gushing and gushing over them. Now, can you come up with an example of a compliment that is both opinion and emotionally based, with specificity and elaboration, that can be expressed in 1 or 2 sentences? If you can, leave it in the comments. If you're worried that it might seem like you're fishing for approval or a return compliment, or if you're giving a compliment to someone who usually dismisses it and you don't want to give them a chance to, there's an easy solution. Keep talking after you give your compliment. The easiest way to do that is to bake it into a bigger message or follow it up with a question. The point is to give the other person something else that they can reply to other than your compliment. This will reduce any pressure they might feel to compliment you back, and it will often distract insecure people from dismissing it. And this can help them accept your compliment and even build their confidence a little. So instead of just saying, you're really good at juggling, you can say, you're really good at juggling. How did you learn how to do that? Or maybe, I love that jacket. You have such a great sense of style. Where do you do your shopping? See how that works? Okay, let's talk about something that kind of flies in the face of a lot of the things I just said. I call these automatic compliments, and they're often not just generic and non specific. They also tend to include no elaborating and can even be based on things that totally aren't the other person's doing. So, why would we give such poor compliments knowing what we now know? Because they're not really meant to be a compliment. They're meant to be a nicer greeting or goodbye or other standard formality than your regular hello and see you later. This could include things like saying hi good looking when you greet a friend or keep being amazing as parting words after spending time with someone. For this one, it's especially important that you spread it out evenly if you're going to use it. That means do it with basically everyone. If you only say hi good looking to the most attractive people in your group and never say anything like that to other people, you'll run the risk of being seen as superficial, as sucking up, or even as desperate and socially uncalibrated. If you use automatic compliments, whether superficial or not, with most people around you, however, you can help make compliments and positive encouragement more normal in your social circles, which can greatly influence them. For all of these concepts, there are a couple of ground rules that we should follow to ensure that we don't ruin them. Firstly, don't over compliment. One or two compliments in an interaction with someone that you don't know very well is often more than enough. If you keep complimenting that person over and over again, it can quickly come off as try hard, desperate, or as if you're fishing for their approval. Secondly, don't over focus on individuals in a group. It's fine if there's someone in a group that you like better or feel closer to, but if you keep complimenting them and no one else, you might again end up seeming a try hard or as if you're desperate for their approval. You might also seem rude to the other people. And you might even make the person that you're complimenting feel uncomfortable for being singled out all the time. All right, that about covers it. You are now a theoretical expert on genuine intentional compliments. Now go out and be a practical expert by practicing this. And remember my challenge. Let me know in the comments if you can come up with an example of a compliment that would be both opinion and emotional based, with specificity and elaboration, and that can be said in 1 or 2 sentences. And remember to subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos like this while you're at it. All right, we'll talk soon.